Hi class and welcome to the third week. I want to say congrats on doing such a great job last week and making it yet one more week through the semester. As a reminder, all of your week one grades were completed last week during the second week, and I sent out an announcement notifying you all that that was the case. So I hope you took a moment to review my feedback and your grades for a couple of reasons. Number one, do so to make sure that all of the grades are correct. Errors happen every now and then, and I wouldn't want there to be any errors on your behalf. So if you see something that looks sketchy, shoot me an email and we'll discuss it. Also, it's important to review your feedback because, well, two things. Number one, you want to make sure that you continue to do the things you're doing really well. And if there are some errors being made here or there, if you notice them early on and can rectify those, you'll only improve throughout the semester and throughout your educational career. So make sure you take some time and review that information. Last week I explained on where to find it all, so please refer back to that video and the announcement from week 2 if you don't remember how to do so. As far as grading goes, I'll start grading today, your week 2 assignments. And just as a reminder, I start doing the grading the Monday following the Sunday due date. Even if you submitted something last Wednesday, I wait until all of the assignments are submitted by Sunday, and then I start the grading process that following Monday. And that goes true if you submitted work that was tardy from, say, week 1 during week 2. I'll grade it on Monday of week 3. I just wanted to remind you all regarding something with the quizzes, and that's that they are closed book. That means that you shouldn't be using any outside resources whatsoever when you're taking the quizzes. That means your notes, any websites, your book, any lab material, etc. It should be completely coming from up here. The knowledge that you learned by actually reading the chapters that were assigned for that week and performing the lab simulations and the accompanied worksheets. And that information is what we're pulling those answers from. So please make sure that you don't consult any outside sources while you're taking the quizzes. And forums. You guys did really great last week, and I was really excited that we had a real first conversation tackling some biology topics, and you guys were really involved, and I really appreciate that, and I hope that we can continue on that way throughout the rest of the semester. Just a couple of points that I do want to make mention of. First and foremost, don't forget that you should be posting original posts, preferably by midweek. And I say that because it's really hard to get a good conversation going if we wait until Sunday of the due date. So I ask that you try to get them in by Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. That way we have a few days to banter back and forth and discuss with each other's opinions, research, etc. as the days move on through the week. If anyone leaves you questions or comments on your original post, make sure you get back to them. Think of it as a face-to-face discussion in a traditional classroom setting. By the way, that's my dog back there. Don't let him bother you. But nonetheless, if somebody's talking to you and asks you a question or even just makes a comment, you wouldn't stare them blankly in the face. You would actually comment back. So make sure you go back and see if anybody left any comments for you on your original post so that you can get back to them before the end of the discussion on the Sunday due date of the discussion board in and of itself. And also make sure that you are replying to at least 2 of your classmates' original posts, preferably more, but that's the bare minimum. So again, we really want to get some good dialogue generated. I was really pleased with all the information you shared last week, and I learned a lot from your discussions, actually. You guys have, again, great experiences and knowledge, and that is stuff that carries on with all of you and can be shared with all of us so that we can all be more enriched in our lives. So make sure you get in there a lot, as much as you can throughout the next several weeks. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention about the forums. Remember, you are supposed to back up your opinion with research, and when you do so, and this goes for any of the rating assignments, you should be doing research that'll help build your arguments in your posts or in your papers. But when you do so, you should be able to take that research and formulate it into your own words. That tells me you understood what you read. So if you decide to make any direct quotes, make sure that you do so minimally, a few words at most, and your entire written work should contain less than 10% of direct quotes. Again, if you copy and paste, even if you label everything properly with in-text citations and quotation marks, but if the majority of your written work is copied and pasted, that's not your work, it's somebody else's. So I want to know that you understood what you read. So again, make sure in any of your written work for the rest of the semester, including your organism profile, the summary, the outline, the actual profile, the written component of the presentation, and all of your forums contain very few direct quotes. And if and when you do make direct quotes or you paraphrase someone else's ideas, make sure that you are properly citing the references. And I've listed several times throughout the semester and some resources, especially from the OWL at Purdue site, that can help you with APA formatting. So take a look at those when you get the opportunity and if you have questions about formatting in general. And one last thing I want to make mention of, you should be working on that organism profile and summary and the outline for this week that's going to be due Sunday. And you should be working on all steps of that project throughout the entirety of the semester. Remember, I had sent you guys a link to the SCIN130 course project guide during the first week of the course in the first forum. It's scattered elsewhere throughout the class, but you can definitely find it there. And that document contains all the step-by-step instructions how to complete each and every component of the project. It gives you the grading rubric. It gives you the guidelines on what should be included and how everything should be actually performed. It's kind of the Bible of the course project guide. So make sure that you consult that before you start with any of the steps. And you really should read through the entirety of the document before you get started. Because there's going to be certain things that you're going to do on the profile as far as topics covered, and there are going to be different topics that are being covered on the presentation. So make sure that you reserve the proper topics for the proper assignment. Again, consult that course project guide. It delineates everything and it's pretty thorough. But again, any questions about it, just reach out to me and I'll help you clarify and move on. And that's about all I have right now. So you guys go ahead and get started with the week 3 lesson. Again, the lessons link is going to provide you all that you need to accomplish the week's assignments and learning material. So have at it. Have a wonderful week, and we'll meet up again next week, same time.